By now, you know my thoughts on impeaching Joe Biden. He should have been impeached day one. That's just the bottom line. Should have been impeached day one. Why? Well, my thoughts are different than most on the right. It's actually not because he's a criminal. Now, he is. That's a justification for it. It's not because he's a criminal. You should impeach Joe Biden because they impeached our guy for nothing. Twice. And so unless we let them know they're going to be forced to play by the rules we play by, then they have no incentive to stop doing what they do. Every Republican president from now until the end of time will be impeached by Democrats every chance they get. They have set that standard. They let us know that. Our only chance at stopping that is to do it back to them and then come to them and say, you want this to stop? We'll stop it. But that's just me. I'm actually interested in victory, unlike Republicans. It came out today. The Biden family, gigantic payments to the Biden family from oligarchs. Kazakhstan, freaking Russia, Ukraine, massive payments. One payment was for the exact amount of the sports car the Bidens bought. That's how corrupt it is. And the GOP still sitting there, navel-gazing, wringing their hands. I don't know, guys. I want to do this the right way. They got McCarthy out there. Well, we're not going to do it for political purposes.
There are many in your party who'd like to see President Biden impeached. Can you tell us where you stand on that?
Well, the one thing I know is I will not do what the Democrats did. I will not use impeachment for political purposes. The responsibility of the House is to investigate and find out who's lying. Now, if somewhere along the way someone has broken the law, that it has risen to an impeachment level, constitutionally you would have to follow through. But I never pick and choose about something like as serious as that for some political basis. I do know the constitutional responsibilities of the House is for oversight and investigation. That's what we're doing.
Okay, what's that mean? It's now August 9th, according to my little watch here. August 9th. We've had a GOP House for 8 months. Why has Joe Biden not been impeached? Should have been day one. Exactly how much longer are we going to pile up information, damaging evidence after damaging evidence, and still run to the media and talk about how we're doing things the right way? Is this going to actually happen or is it not going to happen? They've got our guy on trial. Our guy's been indicted 3 times, getting ready for number 4. We can't even do an impeachment of Joe Biden? Toothless. Ridiculous. I did have to laugh when Grandma Vodka took to the television, though.
How do you feel about the push by the House Republicans? Many of them, the Speaker has certainly, flirted with this idea of impeachment proceedings against, President Biden because of unfounded allegations that he was involved with his son Hunter's businesses.
With all due respect to your question, this is frivolous. This is a diversionary tactic. They have to change the subject, and they have nothing to offer the American people in terms of jobs and the rest. They talk about it, but then they change the subject when it's time to deliver. I'm so proud of the Democrats in the Congress. We fully intend to take back the House the next time so we don't have to deal with the frivolity, the waste of time of the Congress for them to go down this path. The fact is we have a great president who's doing a great job. They can't stand that, so they have to come up with some gimmick.
Grandma Vodka sounds old, doesn't she? She also sounds like a woman who doesn't have very much self-awareness. Oh, a frivolous impeachment. That's a problem, huh? Joining me now, a great congressman from the state of Indiana, and hopefully the next senator from the state of Indiana, because we need decent ones of those. We don't have very many. Jim Banks joins us now. Okay, Congressman, I'm not naive enough to think that Joe Biden will actually be convicted in the Senate if impeached. I believe he should be impeached anyway, but that's one man's opinion. Is he going to be? And if so, why?
Well, Jesse, I don't think we have a choice. We have to impeach Joe Biden. And the reason that we have to impeach him is to make sure that no future president believes that they can ever get away with this guy, what the Biden family has gotten away with. This is the most corrupt family ever to live in the White House. And that's saying a lot after the Clintons lived there in the 90s. So we now know even more yet today, the receipts that show that Joe Biden and the Bidens made something like $20 million from companies from Ukraine and Russia, corrupt business dealings, selling access to Joe Biden in the White House when he was in the Obama administration. He deserves to be impeached, and it's important that we move forward to make sure that that happens. You're right, the Senate is unlikely to remove him from office, but it's important to make that case to the American people that we take his corruption seriously enough to move forward in the House to impeach him.
Congressman, okay, I'm going to ask honestly the most naive, dumb question in the world, but I've got to know. Okay, as vice president, as senator, he has all these people in his life, his son, his brother, just receiving gigantic checks from foreigners. How is that not against the law? Even if Joe Biden was, whether he was on the phone, in the meeting, how in the world can we have a system in this country where I'm a United States senator and no, don't pay me, but just write my son a $5 million check? How can that be legal?
Yeah, obviously it's not, but it's two different sets of rules. One set of rules for anyone named Clinton, Obama, or in this case, Biden, and a different set of rules for the rest of us. I mean, it's hard for me to sit through and listen to that clip from Nancy Pelosi with her keeping a straight face. Andrea Mitchell was even having a hard time keeping a straight face during that segment, because Nancy Pelosi knows that they falsely impeached Donald Trump for everything that the Bidens, that she knew all along. Nancy Pelosi knew all along the Bidens were corrupt and were getting away with that type of behavior. And with a straight face, she tried to claim that this is all frivolous and ridiculous, when we all know that the Bidens have been getting away with this for a very long time. So it's a different set of rules for them, but the House Republicans, we have the majority and we have a moral duty to do something about it, to hold them accountable for it. That's why I believe impeachment is really important.
Is Kevin McCarthy going to do it? He's been not horrible so far, not great. He's been just average. Is he going to actually go through with this?
Well, he's starting to talk about it. In recent weeks, you've heard him talk about an impeachment inquiry, and I think he's right. I mean, move forward through the Judiciary Committee led by Jim Jordan, the chairman. Move this process forward. To me, you don't have to make the case has already been made. I mean, James Comer, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, came out with these receipts this morning about an additional $20 million that wasn't reported before, these corrupt dealings. So the case is pretty clear, but let's go through the impeachment inquiry process. At that point, I don't know how a single Republican and almost every Democrat wouldn't believe that the right thing to do would be to move forward. And that's another point too, Jesse. How do any of the Democrats with a straight face continue to defend Joe Biden and the Biden family? I have yet to hear a single Democrat cry out about the corruption and the corrupt dealings of this family. Where are the Democrats? They owe it to the American people after what they did to Donald Trump to come out and talk about the corruption from the Biden family and in all seriousness do something about it. So let's impeach him.
You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.